This is John Toft. He is our November Resident of the Month. Congratulations, John. I have a couple of questions I would like to ask you. The first one, where and when were you born?
I was born in Zeigler, Iowa, a little town in southwestern Iowa, a rural area, a long ways away from anywhere. I was born on November 5th, 1937. Wow.
Okay, now tell us about your family.
Mary and I have been married for 61 years, and we have 4 daughters. Jane is our oldest. She lives in Pennsylvania. Candy is our second oldest, and she lives in New Jersey. Elizabeth is our third daughter, and she lives in Lugoff, South Carolina. And Martha, our youngest daughter, lives in Norman.
Wow, they're everywhere.
They are everywhere, and Mary and I are the only ones of our immediate families who have ever left Iowa. The rest of our sisters and their families, my 2 sisters are deceased, but they live in Iowa near where we were born and grew up.
Wow. Boy, you guys were the only ones that took that little step outside.
Yes, we took that little step, and we've lived in, I believe it's 9 states, and have lived on the East Coast and the West Coast, the Midwest, and as far south as Oklahoma City.
Wow, that is wonderful. I hope you guys were happy in Oklahoma.
We are. We're very happy. This is the 3rd time we've lived here. We moved here 2 different times in the 1980s because of my job, and then we moved here now. And so we're one of the few people who have chosen to live in Oklahoma 3 times.
3 times. Okay, well, what did you do for a living?
I began my life, my professional life, as a teacher. I taught high school English and French in several small towns in Iowa. And then I taught at the University of Northern Iowa. I taught English there for several years. Before going into educational publishing, I worked for several different publishing companies, publishing textbooks and instructional materials.
Wow, I didn't know that you were a school teacher.
I started out, I actually was a teacher for 9 years before going into educational publishing.
Wow. Teaching is, I so applaud you on that, because it's very rewarding, but it's also very stressful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, now our next question. What is your favorite part about being retired?
The favorite part about being retired? That's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it's that I get to do what I want to do. In other words, I don't have to go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever time it is and stay on that job for a certain amount of time that day and then come home for dinner and go to bed. I have more freedom than that. I get to do what I want to do.
I have to agree with that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being retired too. Just having no schedule and doing whatever you like.
I flew a lot when with my job when I was traveling for publishing companies, and I traveled well over 500,000 miles, almost 1 million miles.
Wow.
And I thought I would miss climbing on a plane and going someplace on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't miss it for a moment.
Oh my God! I bet the sleeping in part is the best part.
That's a good part of it, yes.
Okay, our next question. What do you like? What is the best part about living at Southwest Mansion?
Well, my wife Mary would tell you that it's not having to do any cooking. While that's an important part of it, we also don't have to do any yard work. We don't have to shovel snow. We last lived in the Pocono Mountains in the northeastern Pennsylvania. We don't have to shovel any snow. We even have somebody come in and clean our apartment once every couple of weeks. And believe me, that's a big help too. So there are a number of things that we enjoy. And probably most important is the social part. I enjoy being around people, and so does Mary. And if we were living in a house by ourselves, we'd be by ourselves.
Yes.
So we enjoy interacting with people.
Well, I know the other residents enjoy interacting with you guys also. Our last question. How long have you lived here?
Well, we haven't lived here very long. It'll be 2 years in February of 2020 since we moved here. It seems like we've been here a longer time. We've enjoyed it, but it's actually less than 2 years.
Wow, I never would have guessed that, ever. But I want to thank you, John, so much for letting me interview you, and congratulations for being the Residents of the Month.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
I'm here with Betty Jackson. She is our resident for March. Congratulations, Betty, for being the Resident of the Month. I have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you. The first question, where and when were you born?
I was born in Reigh, Texas, March the 25th of 1926.
Okay. The second question, tell us about your family.
Well, I got married in August the 21st of 1944, and we had 4 children, 1 boy and 3 girls. And
how many grandchildren do you have?
Oh God, don't ask. Let's see. Part of it's great grandkids, but I count on mine.
Oh, all of them are yours. Okay. What did you do for a living?
I worked several different jobs, and when my husband passed away in 1965, I moved to Oklahoma City and went to work at Western Electric, and then retired from AT&T in 1988.
What is the best part about being retired?
Doing what you want to. I used to travel a lot till I got to where I couldn't, so. But being retired, you can do what you want to, sleep long as you want to.
That's true. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like the best about living at Southwest Mansions?
Is meeting the people and friendly people, and everybody's nice, and all the help and everything. So I'm enjoying life now.
How long have you lived here at Southwest Mansions?
3 years.
So you lived here for 3 years?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Betty, so much for doing this interview. And again, congratulations for being the Resident of the Month. I'm sitting here with Letha Merrill. She is our Resident of the Month for April. Letha, congratulations. I have a couple of questions to ask you. Number 1, where and when were you born?
I was born in Woodward County on a farm.
Tell us about your family.
Well, I was married for 62 years when I lost my husband. and we have 3 children. The oldest one is in California. My son was the oldest, and I have a daughter that lives up in Newkirk, Oklahoma, and my youngest son lives out near Blanchard.
Okay, do you have any grandchildren?
I have 5 grandchildren.
How about great-grandchildren?
I have 9 great-grandchildren.
Wow, you have a big family. Okay, what did you do for a living?
Well, I was just a homemaker until my 2 oldest ones were in college, and I decided to go back to school and be a nurse. So I ended up taking the course for LPN, and then I worked at Mercy Hospital, and it what was then South Community, but it's Integris now.
How long did you work for Integris?
Oh, I don't know exactly, but I worked in the ICU at Mercy, and then when I moved out here to Integris, I worked in the nursery. So that was really a switch.
Oh, I bet it was. I bet it was. Okay, what is your favorite part about being retired?
Well, I hate to be repetitive, but it seems to me like everybody is so glad to be able to do what they want when they want.
Yes.
And just relax and have fun.
Well, what do you like? What is your best part about living at Southwest Mansions?
Oh my. Probably, first of all, would be that I feel safe. I don't worry about, anybody coming in or trying to do something they're not supposed to. Just, I feel comfortable here.
Good, I'm glad. Okay, the last question. How long have you lived at Southwest Mansions?
I don't know. It's either 8 or 9 years. It's, I moved here about a year after they were opened.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't know exactly how long that is.
So you've been here for, I would say about 9 years.
Yeah, close to,
Well, again, Letha, thank you so much for this interview, and congratulations for being the resident of the month for April. I'm sitting here with Donna Morrison. She is our May resident of the month. Congratulations, Donna. I have a couple of questions I would like to ask you. Your first question, where and when were you born?
I was born in Sioux City, Iowa, and I came up here, and I met George up here.
Okay.
And we got married. We'll be married 45 years.
Okay, my second question is, tell me about your family. Like you were saying that you and George were married for 45 years. Did you guys have any kids?
No, we didn't have any. We had, we can't forget about our foster kids, 2 of them. We had them since they was babies.
So you had 2
just born out of the hospital, and we got them.
Okay. Do you have any grandkids?
No. Mm-mm.
Nope. So you just had 2 foster kids, a boy and a girl?
A boy and a girl.
Oh.
The girl will be 21 in June, and the boy will be 20 in September.
Okay. Now your third question. What did you do for a living?
I worked as a nurse.
How long were you a nurse for?
Oh my, till I got to retire.
Okay, and my fourth question, what is your favorite part about being retired? What do you love about not working every day?
I like it now. I
What-
really do. The nursing, I think they change a lot. But you don't really forget your nursing. What you forget is your medicine. You know, the medicine, the new medicines every month? Okay, I forget that. I don't, if I wanted to go back to the hospital and go to school, I could get very fed up. But I'm too old for that now.
So you enjoy not getting up early and going to work every day. Is that your favorite part of being retired? Is sleeping in?
You mean now?
Yes.
Oh, I love to sleep in.
Okay. What do you like best about living at Southwest Mansions?
Well, it's very safe, I think. To me, it's safe. I'm not afraid. We do a lot of things here. When, you know, we're kind of tied up now, but we do a lot of and meet a lot of nice people.
Good. Now tell me, Donna, how long have you lived here? How long have you lived at the Southwest Mansions? How long have you lived here?
It'll be 3 years, I think, in August.
Well,
you know, next August. It's 2.5 years, we'll say.
Okay. Well, thank you, Donna, for letting me asking you some questions, and congratulations about being the resident of the month.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here with Ruth Zingler. She is our resident for June. Congratulations, Ruth. I have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you. Your first question, where and when were you born?
I was born in Englewood, Colorado in 1925.
Tell us about your family.
I was the 5th girl in a family of 6. The only boy in the family was the youngest boy.
Okay, what about your children?
I have 3 daughters, 6 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren.
Okay, how long were you married?
37 years.
So you were married for 37 years. That's wonderful, Ruth. You have a big family.
Yes.
Okay, what did you do for a living?
Well, I don't want to shock you, but I was a kept woman. My husband kept me pregnant. He kept me in clothes. He kept me happy. He kept me entertained. So I was a kept woman.
Great. Okay, well, your second part question is, how do you like being retired?
Well, I miss being kept. No, I enjoy it very much. There is so much to learn about life and to do in life. I really enjoy the opportunity to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
That's wonderful. What do you like the best about living at Southwest Mansions?
I like the sociability when I want it and privacy when I want it. And I like the idea that someone is looking out if something should happen, there will be help available.
How long have you lived at Southwest Mansions?
About 18 months.
Great. Thank you, Ruth, so much. And again, congratulations on being Residents of the Month for June.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here with Reba Chapel. She is our resident of the month for July. Congratulations, Reba.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you. The first question, where and when were you born?
I was born in southeastern Oklahoma in a little town called McCurtain, and that was in 1924.
Wow. Okay, here's your second question. Tell us about your family.
Well, I have my husband and I were married 68 years before he passed away, and we had 3 children, and 2 boys and 1 girl, and I have 2 grandchildren. Yeah.
Well, that's a big family, Reba.
Mm-hmm.
I have your third question. What did you do for a living?
I mostly stayed at home. My husband worked for the telephone company, and I worked part-time and worked at Tinker most of the time, and then I quit to raise my family. Okay.
That's great. Okay. What is your favorite part about being retired?
I love being able to do what I want to do, and we've done a lot of traveling, and that was real special because we both like to travel, and so that was a real good thing.
Okay. What do you love the best about living at Southwest Mansions?
Well, I love the people. They just seem like family, and they will just look out for each other and all that. And I like the staff. The staff has always been so sweet and helpful to me, and that's one of the special things about being at Southwest Mansions.
Thank you, Reba. Your last question, Reba. How long have you lived at the Southwest Mansions?
About 3 years.
So you've been here for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great, Reba. Thank you so much for answering my questions. And congratulations for being the resident for July.
Okay.
I am sitting here with Wylene Roberts. She is our resident of the month for August. Congratulations, Wylene.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
The first question is, where were you born?
I was born in Bristow, Oklahoma, August 30th, 1938.
Okay. The second question, tell us about your family.
Well, can I go a little bit from where I was born to...
You can tell me whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I didn't stay in Bristow very long. When I was about 3, we moved up to between Drumright and Yale and Alton. And I went to grade school there. Then I went to Drumright for 1 year, and then my daddy died, and went to Pensacola, Florida for a semester, my 10th grade. Then we came to Oklahoma City, my mom and I, in December 1952. Been here ever since. And I went to university, well, I went to Capitol Hill, senior high. And then I went to the University of Oklahoma, and I went to work as a computer programmer and taught piano and organ. And I went to work for FOO, and that's where I met my husband. We got stuck in an elevator together. And that's how we met.
How long were you guys married?
42 and a half years.
42 and a half years?
He died on January the 24th, 2004.
How many children do you have?
We have 2 boys, 2 sons.
Do you have any grandchildren?
I have 2, I have 2 real grandchildren and 3 step grandchildren.
Okay. Now you're...
No great-grandchildren.
No great-grandchildren, huh?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well, here is your third question. What did you do for a living?
I was a computer programmer, and then I taught piano, organ, and I've always played the piano organ at church since I was a little girl.
Fourth question. What is your favorite part about being retired?
I think not having to have a rigid schedule and do what I want to when I want to.
That sounds great, doesn't it? Okay. What do you like the best about living at Southwest Mansions?
That's easy, the people.
I think everybody loves it the best is the people. How long have you lived at Southwest Mansions?
2 years.
How long?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, well, Wylene, that wraps our interview for the day, and I want to say thank you so much for being the resident of the month for August. Congratulations.
Can I say a couple things?
Yes, you can.
I really enjoy it when the residents ask me to play the piano for them, and I used to do a lot of knitting and crocheting and needlepoint and stuff like that, and I don't do that over here because my eyes have got too bad, and I like to work all kinds of puzzles, Sudoku and jigsaw puzzles and anything like that, and I like to participate in the activities that you have.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy that.
But can't do a lot of it.
But that's okay, as long as you're here for a little bit of it. That's all that matters. Well, congratulations, Wylene. I'm sitting here with Glinda Ray. She is our resident of the month for November. Congratulations. I have a couple of questions for you. Your first question, where and when were you born?
I was born in Lebanon, Oklahoma in 1926.
Okay, your second question, tell us about your family, your kids, and your marriage and grandkids.
And I'm sorry.
Tell us about your family, your kids, your grandkids. How long were you married?
Yes. Well, I can't tell you all these dates because I can't remember. But I was married in 46, and I had 2 girls, and my husband died in 73. So I still worked in the hospital, and then I married my second husband. I knew him before I knew my first husband, and we just kind of were chums, you know, and he was divorced, so we married because we wanted to travel, and we traveled a lot. So then he died with cancer in 2004, and so I've been a widow since then.
Okay. Now tell us, what did you do for a living? What did you do for work? What did you do for work?
Oh, I worked in the medical records for 30 years, and I earned my accreditation. Some of it was by correspondence, and then I went to A&M College for my national certificate. So I am an accredited medical record technician.
That's wonderful, Glenda. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your fourth question. What is your favorite part about being retired? about being retired, about not working anymore? What's your favorite part about that?
Oh, about being retired. Well, I still like to travel, but I'm too old. And I have the 2 girls and 2 grandsons. And I have 6 grandchildren, 3 girls and 3 boys. So we have a nice family. We have a lot of family get-togethers, you know. And I'm interested in their schoolwork and all that, you know. I'm glad I live, you know, close enough that I can be there with them.
That's good. That's wonderful.
And my children couldn't come as often as I thought they should. But anyhow, they wanted me to move up here. And I said, find me a place and I'll move. So they looked at several places here and they chose Southwest Mansions. And I've lived here for 7 years and very happy, wonderful staff, compassionate, understanding, and I've been very happy.
Thank you, Glenda. I appreciate you taking the time and doing an interview with me. And again, congratulations for being our resident of the month for November. I'm sitting here with Sally Scribner. She is our resident of the month for December. Sally, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, Sally, I have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you.
Okay.
The first question, where and when were you born?
I was born December the 6th, 1929 in an old farmhouse about 2.5 miles north and east of Ringling, Oklahoma.
Ringling. Okay. I've never been there.
It's about 28 miles west of Ardmore.
Okay. Now, your second question. Tell us about your family.
Well, met my husband at Davis, Oklahoma. We was married almost 50 years, and then I lost him. But we had a great marriage, and I had 4 kids, Jerry, Bill, Holly, and Susie. And then I had 6 grandkids, 10 great-grandkids, and 6 great-great-grandkids.
Wow, Sally, you have a big family.
I've had a very full life.
That's wonderful.
I go to Crossroads Cathedral Church. I've been there a member for 50 years. And I love it, and it's a great church, and I raised my kids in that church.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, Sally. Now, your other question. What did you do for a living?
I worked in a lot of medical clinics as a clerk or handling the charts, and then I moved up to the Health Science Center, and I've worked there as a secretary, and in a clinic, I was clinic clerk, checking them in and out, and that's where I retired.
How long did you work there?
20-something years, I can't remember now.
Okay.
I retired in 1966, so that tells you it's been a long time.
Okay. Okay, your other question. What is your favorite part about being retired?
Not having to get up early. I can sleep late, and I can do what I want to do.
And you can enjoy every bit of it.
Yes, I can.
I can't wait. Okay. What do you like best about living at Southwest Mansions?
I like the way that the owners here and the head front office have taken care of us. We have not had to fight too much of the virus. We had a couple of spells, but that's all. And for a place this big, that's great. But I feel protected, and I enjoy the friendship. People are very friendly.
Great. That makes me so happy to hear that. All right, Sally, this is your last question. How long have you lived at Southwest Mansions?
For 2 years.
Great. Well, we're so happy that you're here, Sally, and we love you. And I want to wish you congratulations on being the resident of the month for December.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you taking the time out and doing this interview with me.
Okay. Glad to do it.